How's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different from some of the stuff that I've been doing here recently. I wanted to sit down with a builder rep and maybe ask and get a few answers to some questions about the build process. I've known Ron now for several years. He's been a great friend of mine. He's an amazing rep for Dr. Horton, one of the largest companies nationally. They do a lot of volume and they have a huge presence here in the Indianapolis market. Ron, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your history with DR.
Well, I'm Ron Frazier, and I've been with Dr. Horton for 5 years now, but I've been in the home construction industry for, I guess you could say, a minute. But this is a great company. Mm-hmm. I've really enjoyed working for it. We actually, Dr. Horton is America. We call ourselves America's builder because we're the largest builder in America by volume, and that gives us a lot of advantages. I mean, we can buy our brick for our homes in such great volume that we get a discount on it. And I could go on with those examples, but it's great to be the biggest. Now, on the other hand, what's really great about the current situation is we used to be here in Indiana, Westport Homes. Uh-huh. And the Dunn family ran Westport Homes. Now, the Dunn family is still integral in the running of the Dr. Horton division here in town. So the nice thing about that is you get the beauty of being really big, mm-hmm. but if something blows up and old Ron needs some help trying to take care of one of his customers, he can go to the Dunns.
Nice. That's huge. So big advantage is small town feel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's been my experience with you guys as I've worked with you guys and I've had clients come through. It very much is a down home kind of feel. And I mean, the thing is you guys, you answer individual questions in an individual way. And that's been something that's been a huge advantage to my clients, and you know, it's been a huge help. But what I want to do is just dive right into the questions. Part of this is to dispel myths and answer questions in regards to the new build process. In your opinion, what do you think is the #1 myth surrounding new builds?
That's really hard to say, yeah, because there's a couple.
Yeah.
Certainly one is that it's going to be more expensive, mm-hmm. than buying a used home,
an existing home
out on the market.
Yeah.
I mean, because one of the things that we're going to be able to do for you, and again, it's that power of big, we go out on the market and we buy $500 million of money at a 4.9% rate, mm-hmm. and then we use that to be able to sell homes. Mm-hmm. The other thing is our model, or I guess you'd call it a model, is really different than a lot of the other builders. We build a lot of spec homes. Mm-hmm. I mean, the homes that they're built, we choose the quartz, we choose the refrigerator, the microwave, we choose it all. And what that does, we can crank out homes really fast. So I think a lot of people believe that if they get a brand new home, they're going to have to wait. Not with us.
Yeah, y'all do definitely have the fastest build time in the area when it comes to homes. I know we'll deviate just a little bit. What's the difference, as a quick explanation to everyone, between a spec home and a custom home from one of the custom builders? When you brought up the term spec a minute ago, what exactly do you mean by that?
Okay, a custom build. A custom build typically is going to be a small builder that specializes in building really large homes. Mm-hmm. And that custom builder is going to put things in your home like wainscoting. If you want to make a change to a room and make a room a little bit larger, then the custom builder can do that. Now, in contrast with us, there are no changes. We pre-select everything. So you have to like what we are building. Otherwise, you're going to need to look elsewhere, as much as I hate to say that.
But being a spec home builder, that increases in the efficiency of the ability to build, right? Because you source one type of cabinets, one type of appliance, one type of flooring. That's pretty much what you guys are doing. So it simplifies the process, which speeds the process up, right?
Absolutely. And the other thing that happens there is that the builder, or the people that we have that build the homes, can crank them out quicker because they know exactly what they're doing, because they've framed a house just like this one a huge number of times.
Nice. Okay, well, I guess my next question then is, what's your favorite part of the new build process? What's your favorite part personally?
Watching a new family move into their new home.
I kind of figured that would be your answer. That's the same way for me in real estate. You can show people 100,000 houses and everything, but the day they get their keys is just magic.
It is.
It's its own special thing. I mean, you can help them dream and put it together, and all that's cool in its own way. But when they get their keys, that's just next level.
Absolutely. It's what makes this job fun.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I guess the next question for most people that are out there is, what does the process look like from start to finish? They walk in the front door, from that time to the time they get their keys. What does the process look like from you guys?
Okay. Well, one thing about walking in the front door, I think it's a good thing to have a realtor.
Yes.
And it's good to have a realtor like Jeremy that you can trust, somebody that's honest as the day is long. And then that allows me to be able to partner with Jeremy so that we, between the two of us, can help make sure that you get the home of your dreams.
Nice. Does it cost any extra for them to use a real estate agent?
Not a penny. We have flyers that we send out that says Dr. Horton loves realtors. We really do. Because realtors make our job easier. They help us have better access to you. And they're very knowledgeable and helpful. So no downsides at all to having a realtor.
Okay, so they walk in the door. What's the next step? They introduce themselves to you. What's the next thing that they do?
Then we're going to talk about what kind of house they want. For instance, like this house we're standing in has an in-law suite behind the kitchen.
Super cool.
Okay, so if they've got elderly parents, I would want to find out that kind of information so I could direct them toward a house like this. Then after I've gotten the information like that together, I'll go show them some homes and walk through some homes with them so that they've got a good idea of what our different floor plans look like. And then if they're, the next thing would be to probably hook them up with our financing arm. If a buyer wants to get their own financing, that's certainly up to them. And I would never discourage that. On the other hand, we are going to give you a better rate. It's going to make the process smoother because the loan officer that you would have is in the same building as the rest of Dr. Horton. So everybody's talking to make sure that you close on time. And Jeremy could tell you this, There's nothing worse than missing a closing.
Yeah, that you feel like you failed your client, and most of the time, 90% of it is out of your control anyway. But I will say I have had an amazing amount of success using the builder's lender for my clients. You guys, you always have a nice incentive. I very rarely can find an outside lender that can even begin to compete with what you guys are able to do for my clients in-house. So that's impressive. Now, once again, they can always check. It doesn't hurt to check.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, 9 times out of 10, they're going to come back for the closing cost incentives, for the interest rate incentives, for things like that for each one. After they get through the pre-approval process with your lender, what's next?
Well, after that, we're going to, if we found a home they like, and assuming they're buying a spec, we're going to have them come in, sign a contract, and they'll give me a deposit, and we'll start the countdown on them getting ready to move in.
So in reality, it's really no different than buying an existing home where they would have to fill out a contract and put down earnest money, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, and that money, that deposit that they use, does that go towards closing costs, or how does that work? Does that money just evaporate, or
no?
How does that work?
It goes toward closing costs,
just like earnest money.
Just like earnest money.
Okay, so it's no different in that regard.
Absolutely.
Okay, so once they've picked out their lot, once they've put down their deposit, signed all the paperwork, then it's what? What's the next process? What's the next?
The next thing that's going to happen, it's going to depend upon how far the house is along in the build process.
Okay, so you guys determine the schedule as far as that's concerned.
Yes,
okay.
And we would let them know up front.
Okay.
If, let's say the house had 60 days left. I mean, and we do this all the time.
Yeah, you have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, might we be a week off or so?
Yeah,
sure, but we are really hitting deadlines.
Yeah, we're in Indiana. A blizzard could blow up on us in a day and slow everything down.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And so the idea is going to be what we want to do, and we get the closing department involved right away. As a matter of fact, when I do a new sale, I have to email the closing department so they will know when the buyer wants to close. Are there some special instructions? Do they have a house to sell that they want to be able to close on that the morning before they close in the afternoon on this?
Okay. Yeah, that makes
sense.
sense.
We're trying to give all the information we can to the closing department so that we can make the process smooth.
Sounds good. And then once the house is done, there are stages, right? You have like the mechanical stage and things of that nature. You have the various stages as it goes along. And they're welcome to check the house out during those stages, correct?
Absolutely.
It's not like you like put a chain around the house and they can't go in. They can't see any of it, right?
I have people that come in every week.
Okay.
And in addition to that, we have it's called the orientation. What we're going to do is the building superintendent that's in charge of running all the schedules of all the subcontractors, they're going to walk your house with you. And, if you see a blemish on the wall where, the painter didn't get it right, you're going to put a dot on that and you're going to go around the rest of the house and make sure that it looks good. And you're going to turn on the electrical switches. You're going to turn on the faucets. You're going to make sure that your house works good. Yeah.
And for you first-time home buyers out there too that have really never experienced things like, well, where do I put the water softener, things of that nature? How do I service the AC? Dad always did that kind of a thing. They're going to walk you through how to do that and who to contact if you ever need that kind of stuff as well. So they're going to make sure you know how to use your new home. And then, so after the orientation, you have your final walkthrough and then the closing, right?
Correct.
And that's when you get your keys.
Correct. My favorite part.
That's right. So, I mean, that makes sense, right? But a lot of people get intimidated by that. They see these houses pop up and, they think it took 2 years for that house to be built. On average, how long does it take for a house to be built on average? with you guys?
5 months.
About 5 months.
But here's the key to all that. It goes back to where I started this whole thing. That's why you need somebody you can trust like Jeremy. Because he's going to be telling you, he's going to be giving you advice. And that advice he's given you is very valuable, and it's going to help you get through the process that I'm sure you're very nervous about, because this is a very big purchase and you don't want anything to go wrong.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. So when you're looking at things, I'm already going to have done some of the legwork, right? I'm going to know that you're looking for a 5-bedroom. I'm going to know that you're what part of town you're looking at because of work, schools, etc. That's some of the things that I can help them with, speed the process up. So they're not trying, you show up to this neighborhood and, oh no, you should have been on the west side or been on the north side. Now we got to find a house with a neighbor, with a lot and that sort of a thing up there. Different price points, different availability. I will have already worked all that out as an agent, right? And that speeds the process up. It makes it a little bit easier. I can also inform you of, what's available in each neighborhood, respectively. One other question. Now, some of the other builders, some of the other bigger builders in the area use what we call lot premiums. What is a lot premium? What is that? How does that apply?
Okay. Let's say that your lot is on a pond, a retention pond. A lot of people like to be on retention ponds, because if you're on a retention pond, then there's nobody directly behind you.
Waterfront property.
There you go. And so what will happen is the builder will attach a premium to that lot. The dirt isn't it's not included with the sale price of the house. There'll be an add-on for that lot. So that's a lot premium. Is that something that DR uses often, or is it more or less not the case? It's usually for most of the neighborhoods it's already included, or is that something on a case-by-case basis? It's a case-by-case basis. Okay, so it's definitely something that you're going to want to ask about in the build process. Is the lot included? That's good advice. Now, how about your home warranty? A lot of the reasons why people buy a new build versus an existing home is the roof is new, the refrigerator's new, the water heater's new, the furnace is new, etc., etc. Everything is brand new. For something to be close to the same price as an existing home, buying something brand new seems like a no-brainer, but it's only as good as the warranty, right? What is your warranty with DR, and how does that process work? Okay, it's a 20-year limited structural warranty. So when I say structural, I'm talking about the trusses, something like that that's part of the frame of the house. Yeah. Now, in addition to that, you're going to have warranties like these appliances that you see behind you. Yeah. They've got a 2-year warranty straight from Whirlpool. So if you start going to light up that gas stove and it won't light, you pick up your phone, you call Whirlpool, and Whirlpool sends a tech out here. You got a 2-year warranty on that. You've got, like in this neighborhood, we have Hardy Plank siding. Yes. Hardy Plank siding is the bomb. Yeah, it really is. And so if you can get that, that's a great thing to get, and it's going to have a 30-year warranty on the siding itself, and then the paint, because they paint it in the factory, is going to have a 15-year warranty. Wow. And we're going to give you a packet with all the warranties on everything in your house to make sure that you feel well protected. Nice. Well, and I know that that's a big deal for a lot of people, because you never know. It's that anxiety of, is my furnace going to die? Is my water heater going to blow up? Inevitably, these things are going to break. They're mechanical. They are going to fail. It's just a matter of when and how. Buying a new home kind of mitigates that anxiety just a little bit for most people. Absolutely, as it should. Yeah. Because, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a list of telephone numbers to be able to call. Yeah. So let's say it's your first winter in the house. You wake up and it's freezing cold. You go look at that phone number and you call the contractor that we told you that was going to service it.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to do.
Nice. Now, is it like a car dealership where they try to hit you with all these warranty packages afterwards to add to the financing, and all of a sudden your car costs almost double because you want a 100,000 mile warranty, or is it included?
It's all included.
Nice. So that's another huge bonus, right? It's already built into the price of the house. It's not something that somebody's got to come up with something else. Now, in your opinion, what is it that sets Dr. Horton apart from all of the other builders? I mean, let's face it, you can drive 2 miles in Indy and see 50 signs for 50 different builders, it seems, for a new neighborhood everywhere. What sets DR apart from, say, a Pyatt or Arbor or, some of the other builders that are in the area?
It's our people.
Okay.
Our people really care. And I talked earlier about the Dunn family.
Yeah.
That kind of trickles down from them because that's their personality. They care and they want us to care. And so just a little bit of an aside on that, the person who builds your home is going to, all the builders use the same subcontractors, the same guys that pour the cement, the same guys that frame the houses. We use all the same guys. So what really makes one house better than another? Well, it's the person that's inspecting what those subcontractors did. And because we care and because we want to make you happy, we're going to do a good job in putting it together. And so that's really why you should buy a Dr. Horton house, is because of our employees.
Nice. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is the superintendents, you guys, I show up, y'all know me by name. And that's huge, because at that point, that I'm already going to have done certain things. We've already got a relationship going. I can come to you and talk to you. I have y'all's personal cell phone numbers. I don't have your office number. I have your direct number. And that means a lot to me in this business, because if one of my clients is having trouble, or they have a question, or they built themselves up and they've gotten to where they're worried about something, I can reach out to you directly, do a 3-way call, and have the problem solved right away. That's huge from a realtor's perspective. That's huge. What are some of the popular floor plans? What are some of the floor plans that people like to look for? I mean, I know we're sitting in the 5-bedroom. That's one of the most popular ones that you guys have. It's what families are doing nowadays. They're combining their resources, moving in together. What are some of the floor plans that you guys have, and what's your price range on some of those floor plans, just to kind of give them an idea?
We have a 5-bedroom called a Henley. The Henley has a guest suite on the main floor, and it has a great big living room area, nice size kitchen, and then when you go upstairs, a really big master bedroom area, a nice master suite, and then there's 3 other bedrooms and a loft upstairs.
Huge loft.
To me, the loft for a family with kids is really a nice asset, because you got to get them wound down before you put them to bed, and that's a great area to do that.
And it's a substitution for, not having a basement or something like that too, right? You don't have to worry about waterproofing the basement. Is it leaking? Is it flooding? You don't have to worry about whether or not that's happening in the loft.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. I know it's going to range per neighborhood, right? Depending on what side of town. On average, what's the price range on a Henley?
$330 to $390.
Okay. Depending on where it's at.
Yes.
That makes sense. Just like in car sales. I mean, it's not much different there. Depending on where you go and how many options are on it, you can get a base model, or you can get a fully loaded one, and you can get a pretty large range in price range from that, right? It's not going to be any different in the housing market.
Absolutely. Solid
countertops and luxury vinyl plank flooring is going to cost a little bit more than a laminated countertop and linoleum flooring.
Absolutely.
So that makes a lot of sense. So in your opinion, what are some of the exciting things that are coming to Dr. Horton in 2024?
I think we are growing here in central Indiana like crazy.
Yeah. Y'all are popping up everywhere.
So it's very exciting for me to see that, and it's exciting for me to be part of that and help the company with the growth. Down here on the south side, well, this community I'm in right now is in Bargersville. It's called Highland Knoll, and we've just started another new one that's just probably 10 minutes from here, called Meadows at Bellevue. We've got another one that's just off 65 called Lone Pine Farms. The growth is mind-boggling.
So going back to the process, let's say people have heard everything here. They like what they've heard. They're really interested in getting the ball rolling. What are some of the things that they can expect cost-wise out of pocket when they first want to get started? I know there's the deposit. What does that typically look like? Different neighborhoods. What's the lowest? What's the most expensive deposit that you guys have to get the ball rolling on a house?
The lowest is going to be $3,000. The highest is going to be
$12,000.
Yes.
Okay. So, and once again, that goes towards closing costs.
Yes.
Okay. So when they're putting that deposit down, they don't have to pay any more out of pocket until it's time to close, right?
Correct.
So whatever that amount is, that's their amount out of pocket.
Correct.
Okay. So when it comes to building a home, the process is very simple.
Absolutely.
The scary part is the fact that most people just don't know, right? And they would rather just buy something that's already existing because it's safe.
That's why they need you.
Exactly. As a real estate agent, I know I've had the conversation with them. I know when their lease is up. I know what their situation is. I know how much time they have or don't have. But with a builder like yourself, I can find homes for them that are already done and ready to move into now. Like you have several in this neighborhood here that are ready to move into right now. Or if time allows for it, 5 months from now, because you can buy a lot that's bare and ready to go. So it just depends on your schedule and your time frame. If, for instance, you know your lease is up in 6 months and you want to start looking now, that's not too early to start looking. Because if you find a neighborhood now, you put your deposit on it now, in 5 months, 6 months, that house will be ready when your lease is up, and now your house is ready and you have overlap time to move into it because your lease isn't up for another month. So you have a whole month to move into your new home. So those are some of the things to think about when you're buying a home and you're considering scheduling things like this. Once again, it's working with the builders to know what their inventory is, know what they have available, know what sides of town they're available on, what lots they have available, what stage each one of these houses is at. If your lease is up in 3 months, do they have any houses that are going to be ready in 3 months? These are all questions that we can go back and forth and ask and make sure to get clarification from the builder on. Is there anything else you want to add as we begin to close here, Ron?
I hope I get to see you soon.
Same here. That's been great. I really appreciate everything, Ron. You're freaking amazing, brother. I love every time I get to spend a little bit of time with you. I learn something new every time I do. Hopefully I can meet up with some of you guys out there. And until then, happy hunting.
Thank you.